Welcome back to Beauty Boss Millionaire. I'm your host, Felicia Fracassi, and welcome to season 4. And this season, we're going to really talk about decision making and leadership skills that are needed to run a business.
Thank you for tuning in to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast. Her mission is to empower you with short, on-the-go business tips to help you successfully start and run your company like a boss and achieve financial freedom. And now, here's your host, Felicia Fracassi.
On a daily basis, we're constantly making decisions. Everything from what you're going to do the next minute to what you should wear or how you want to present yourself or how your day's going to start. I mean, I feel like we don't really talk about decisions enough and how important they are, weighing the pros and cons of a situation in a decision, because one decision always leads to the next, to the next, the next, the next. And it's so important that as leaders that we always think about the next decision and the consequence based off the first decision. It's like having this mind of chess in business. There's been so many times that I had to use different strategies through decision making that helped me get to be where I'm at now. I'm even just going to break it down and really explain something. Decisions really determine everything. It determines your entire life, because I see people all the time that make very bad decisions based off of their emotions or just not thinking it through before they make a decision. I mean, everything even down into your love life in business can really affect your business too. I've seen so many great people that were limited to their growth because of the partner that they chose to be with, or they're in the process of dating while trying to build their business, and that can be a huge distraction. And ultimately, these choices can really affect you forever. So I'm going to get into this on this episode, and I'm also going to talk about leadership skills that are needed in this season, because to own a business is not just being glam and telling everyone that you're an owner, but to own a business requires the highest level of integrity to run that business. Even down to how you handle your finances is so important. How you budget your money. Are you putting money aside to invest back in the business? I see so many entrepreneurs that get a splurge of money. You know, it's tax season, you make a lot of money and they go spend it. And then when that season dries up of tax money or whatever, stimulus checks, they're back to square one where they're betting on the money not being the same. That's why it's so good to track the money, but we're going to get all into that next. So just make sure that we're being wise with our finances, that we're just making really good decisions. And I'll get into the integrity piece as well, and it all ties in together. In order to grow your business, you need these skills, and I really mean this. The decisions that seem the most difficult are those that require the deeper level of thought. Making good decisions is a method that really must be learned. We're not innately born with this decision-making meter, but it's a step-by-step process, and we're going to go over these steps. The first step that I really want to just identify in making good decisions is identify your goal. One of the most effective decision-making strategies is to keep your eye on the goal. This is something that I love doing. I am a type of person where if I work hard, I have to see a reward. My husband laughs at me all the time because for me, if I work all day, I have to count the money. You're going to laugh. He will literally count the money. I'm like, sorry, I need to count it. And I don't know why, but in my head, that's my reward. And honestly, I've gotten away from that just because it's sometimes not so important now because I've made a lot of money. But there was a time where I literally counted every dollar, every penny just to see my goal. So step 1, identify your goal so you can get the outcome. And ask yourself, what exactly is the problem that needs to be solved? In your business, there is a problem, and how can you solve it? So the only way you can figure that out is if you identify the goal first. Before I close out on that, I also want to explain how you have to figure out what's important and what will help you make those best decisions. The second step to decision making is gather information and weigh your options. So when you make good decisions, it's best to gather all these informations, all these different things directly related to the problem. Doing this will help you understand better what you need and what needs to be done in solving this problem. And it will also help to generate ideas for a possible solution. And it's okay to seek the opinions of people that you trust or speak to experts or even Google it, because it'll help you even come up with a variety of solutions when you're weighing all the options for your final decision. And a lot of this, right in business, you have to gather all the information to weigh your options. If this is a good thing you should start in your business or if you think it's going to work, it's really good to just kind of get all this information together. I do this a lot in my business. I have to constantly weigh my options. And the third step, which is one of the most important important steps is consider each consequence. When you think about the consequences of a decision that you're about to make, it'll make you kind of question, should I even do this? How will it affect you now? And how will it affect your future? And again, I'm talking on these things because in business, we need to make sure that we're being conscious of the decisions, even with spending, what we plan on doing that morning. Consider the consequences if you don't handle that paperwork, if you don't answer those emails, if you choose not to respond to those people's texts, if you choose not to act with integrity. I mean, literally, I got a complaint today from a customer that was upset about something that happened at one of my other companies, not the Lash and Brow Bar, but they had a complaint on something else. I reached out to them directly and addressed it. It was done and over with. So the consequence to my situation would have been if I had not have responded, it could have gotten even more messy and more just unhandled or unresolved. And that makes an upset customer. And she was so shocked that I reached out. She said, "Oh my God, are you the owner?" I said, "Yes, I am the owner." "I'm so sorry this happened." I said, "No, I'm sorry this happened." And from there, I was able to make that right decision to kind of fix the issue. And this is an essential step because it allows you to review the pros and cons of any options that you have. And it's also important because you want to feel comfortable with all these options and possible outcomes to whichever decision you choose to make. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times as a leader I can get in and look at a situation. I'll see two employees going neck and neck about something, and you just have to have those good decision-making skills and say, you know what? I don't think we should do this. I think we should go in the back off the floor and handle this, one. And two, what exactly can we do to fix this problem? That's where that leadership skill comes in at. Because in business, there's going to be constant things that arise. And I want you to be aware of this because this is where sometimes people just make bad decisions. And as a leader, you cannot make bad decisions in your company because it's going to affect you. It's going to affect your team. It's going to affect the customers. It's going to affect the money. And sometimes you have to make that decision. Do you want to give discounts to your friends and family? Are you not in a position to give discounts? I see so many people ruin their business trying to help their friend or their family member, and they're taking the friend and family member's business over the paying customer, which makes no sense because now you got your company in a deficit because you've done a favor that you can't even afford to do, especially when you're first starting out or when you're in a fragile state in your company. So these are all the things that I really want us to focus on and really hone in on as we begin to grow our business more. So I've kind of said a lot, and I'm going to do part 2 on tomorrow. And I'm really glad. Hopefully you're taking down notes because I've got a lot of good stuff coming up next. So stay tuned to the Beauty Boss Millionaire with Felicia Fracassi. Please don't forget to rate, like, or share if this is helping you, and send the link to someone and have them subscribe because I want to be a blessing. All right. See you tomorrow.
That's it for today. Tune in tomorrow for the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast. And don't forget to follow the Beauty Boss Millionaire, Felicia Fracassi, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Beauty Boss Millionaire.